let's get into it. You got a topic that you've been talking about. You called,
bro.
Very into.
Spoke this into existence. Now
I want you to do what you need to with this topic.
Full disclaimer here, okay? This is a little tangential to gaming, but because I called this, we're talking about it. This broke,
and I'll loop it into gaming at the end.
This broke today. Okay, I texted you first thing this morning when I saw the article while I was having coffee.
6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m.
That's what I'm getting.
And this comes to us, it was just the first article, but it's all over the internet. I brought this one up from Yahoo Finance, Kate Park over there, and it's that Facebook reportedly plans to change its name to focus on the metaverse. Wow. Reading from the article now, Facebook is planning to rebrand the company with a new name to focus on building the metaverse. According to a report by The Verge, CEO Mark Zuckerberg will unveil its new name at the annual Connect conference on October 28, but it could announce the new name earlier, as reported by The Verge. Facebook, which has the ambition to be known for more than social media, announced Sunday that it has planned to recruit 10,000 jobs in Europe for the next 5 years to help build the metaverse, as the company sees as a key component to its future. The company also announced, and this is where it's important, a month ago that Andrew Bosworth, the head of AR and VR, will be promoted to Chief Technology Officer. Facebook already has more than 10,000 employees who build consumer hardware like AR glasses that Zuckerberg believes will be as ubiquitous as smartphones. And I'm going to leave it there. You guys can read the article. As always, linked down below. Mm-hmm. Holy shit.
I have two very hot takes about this.
First of all, hot takeaway, and then I'll counter.
I'm gonna give you the real hot take, and then I'm gonna give you the tinfoil hat one at the end.
Mm-hmm.
First hot take: this is the beginning of Facebook VR and just a Facebook Sims game.
Yeah.
Where you're just going to be in a virtual world and you're going to go to your same crappy, mundane job, but you're going to do it for virtual currency. And that virtual currency is going to be worth somewhere in the same ballpark as an actual US dollar. And it's going to happen similar to the way that World of Warcraft's gold currency was a ridiculous commodity, where I believe one of the C-suite members, and I don't remember exactly who it was, of Goldman Sachs poured hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars into World of Warcraft gold when that game came out, because he thought it was going to be the next big currency. And I think something similar is going to happen here. I think it's going to be actual value, where I'm going to be able to pay real-life money for in-game currency, and then in-game currency for things that'll get me real-life money.
Play to earn. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is first of all, what you just said is the most horrifying thing ever. Okay,
gold.
The idea of virtual currency is horrifying. But I've said it before, people. Nobody believed me. But I spoke this into existence. I'm not going to speak winning the lottery into existence as well. Okay, because.
What numbers? What numbers are we playing, Bobby?
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to tell you after.
I'm just going to play it. I'm not trying to split with nobody. All right, tell me off camera.
Like, okay, in all craziness aside, the practical thing here, and the thing that's the most to watch, is, and this might be a little... somebody knows something that we don't know, okay? A
lot of people know a lot of things that we don't know.
What I mean about that is the whole talk about NFTs, really the mainstream talk.
Yeah.
And play to earn games and the metaverse. This started in like March of this year when Gary Vee started talking about NFTs. Okay.
Yep.
Before that, it was just murmurs. Now they're doing skits on SNL about NFTs. How does this apply to gaming, you're wondering? Well, Facebook owns Oculus. Oculus is a massive, massive VR platform. I'd say second only to PSVR, right?
Yeah.
All Facebook has to do is build in integration with, hey, you have a virtual room. Like you said, virtual Sims.
Yep.
Display your NFTs. Display a World of Warcraft NFTs. We're getting so close. If this happened in 8 months, what is going to happen in the next 5 years is both astonishing and horrifying.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the virtual life. I know, coming from somebody that plays a lot of MMOs, you would think that'd be very counterproductive. But like, I've seen games. I've never liked The Sims. For one of my psych courses in college, I had to play Second Life, which is basically this.
Yep.
It's just an MMO where you're an actual person and you do a real life job and you go to real life places and you talk to other people, and that's the only thing to do in the game. And I felt very sad playing those two games. So it's just, I think it borders the line of the Jeff Goldblum quote. You spent so much time wondering if you could, you never really thought about if you should.
Listen, I never, like, and we're getting a little off topic here. Like, how does this apply to gaming? Figure it out, right? Like, Sims, Second Life, World of Warcraft, all these big, time sync games, all these RPGs, all they need to do at this point is build on the back of, or Facebook itself just needs to build something to be that first domino of like, hey, plug in for a little while, right?
Yep.
So the play to earn potential, massive, horrifying. The Second Life potential, the integration with your NFTs, horrifying, but cool, right?
I mean, it will be cool.
No.
Like, there's no argue that I think it'll be just a marvel of technology and almost the pinnacle of gaming. But I just think what it means long run is bad.
I was going to say, does this excite you or scare you?
No, what would excite me about virtual games is if you could make it a sport. And you just like add flavor to a sport. And I think we had talked about it before, but if LeBron James dunks in a Laker game and the hoop explodes, and kind of like the Space Jam movie or the second Space Jam movie where they're playing the game and they're getting style points for breaking the backboard because they're playing in a virtual world, something like that is the highest I would ever want to see VR go. It could be great graphics, but once it starts blurring that line between real life and video game, the farthest I want to see it go is making something that already exists more exciting. Like, I don't want it to take the place of going to a bar. I want it to make the bar better.
So this to me is horrifying. I know I'm throwing that word around a lot.
Yeah.
But I said oh my God. When I first said this, like 2-3, you guys can look this up. When we talked about this 2-3 episodes ago, I said this has never made me want to move to Montana and buy a ranch and just look and touch trees and dirt and leaves more in my entire life. Like,
touch grass, man.
Reading this is just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. There's the line, right?
Yep.
My kids, your kids, next generation after that, this will be so, as it says, ubiquitous as smartphones. That'll be like, what do you mean you don't play VR?
Yeah, we're not going to the bar. We're going to the V bar.
The V bar.
Virtual bar.
Here is where I would love to see this implemented. Because the reason VR is so potent when talked about with Facebook in the sentence and why this to me is so scary, despite being a gaming podcast, is not for gaming. What I think VR has the most potential to do is outside of gaming, right? Imagine for a moment if we can all put our bullshit aside and we actually get to Mars as a people, as a species, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if they put a VR camera on the shuttle and everybody with an Oculus account, people watched the moon landing in the 60s. I'm now watching through the eyes of the person stepping foot on Mars.
Yeah, I get that.
Right?
I don't know. I think it has other applications to that, because I do think there is a space where, like, now that I'm talking about it, like, going to a virtual bar sounds kind of cool.
So here's my next thing. These concerts, these Fortnite concerts, the
Agreed.
next step is a VR concert, right?
Yeah.
Or even put the VR cam in front row or on stage with, I don't know, Maroon 5. It's a band, right? And let's say Ticketmaster, they give a little action to Facebook, but you buy the ticket through Ticketmaster Virtual. You put on your Oculus, you log in with your Facebook, and bam, there you go. Front row ticket to Maroon 5. You're on stage with Maroon 5, right?
Do you think you could ever be just as good?
It doesn't need to be just as good, right?
It does though, because you and I get what you're saying. It doesn't really need, because if I could buy a ticket on pennies on the dollar to do it VR, but I could sell it to 10 million people instead of 10 people, you still make money. I'm still happy because I got my ticket cheap. But will it be the same as going to a concert? And I don't think it will.
No, but I think it's a. And again, I have to crib Gary Vee here. He's a big proponent, and I think where this really stands is exactly what he always talks about, and not or, right?
Yeah, okay.
You can go to the concert, and you can also stream it, right?
That's fair, yeah.
Right? And I think that's exactly where this is. Where I would love to see this, right, is twofold. One, we're already seeing where they're reimagining games that you love, but in VR. They made Resident Evil 4 VR. It's Resident Evil 4, but you play it on Oculus in first person in VR.
Yeah, it's good. It's cool.
It's so cool.
It.
So goddamn
it's really cool.
So goddamn cool.
Yeah.
The next thing I would love to see is almost like the plot of Avatar, the James Cameron one, not the Airbender, where it's surrogate experiences for people with disabilities who would otherwise not experience them, right? Xbox, to their credit, I think the best thing that Xbox has done in the last 5 years is the adaptive controller for people with motor disabilities. That is the coolest thing ever. And this is the next step of that.
I agree. I still think the number one thing for me is not also transitioning current sports, but bringing back other sports. Like, imagine if I could sit in a VR Coliseum in ancient Rome and watch two people that are playing a game, but I see it in real time, in seemingly real life, and these men or women go straight at each other and fight to the virtual death.
That'd be pretty cool. But also horrifying.
Right?
But also horrifying.
Oh, yeah. It's horrifying that could happen. But, like, imagine if swords and shields clashing, my boy gets decapitated. And it's a sporting event. And it's completely fine.
Because it's virtual.
No one actually
It's
got hurt.
no more or less violent than anything in games currently.
Yeah. I would disagree. It's not any more violent than what's currently going on. But I think making a spectacle out of it makes it inherently worse for society. But I would love to see it. And it doesn't need to be gladiators, but like other sporting events that I couldn't actually go see or that aren't around anymore, or just you could just experience things you'd never be able to experience close enough. Or like, instead of going to a zoo, don't have zoos anymore. Let them be in the wild, and I could VR wildlife.
See, this is where, like, you say that, I'm like, oh my God, that's Pokemon Snap. Like, I'll wait.
God.
I'll wait. Give me the Pokemon Snap VR game, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Are we living in a simulation? I think we're getting real dangerously close.
That's fine. A steak's a steak.